The black-tailed Tityra, Tityra cayana, is a medium-sized passerine bird of tropical South America. The Tityras have been placed in the cotinga or the tyrant flycatcher families, Cotingidae and Tyrannidae, by various authors. But the weight of evidence strongly suggests they and their closest relatives are better separated as Tityridae. The AOU, for example, advocates this separation. In 1760, the French zoologist Mathurin Jacques Brisson included a description of the black-tailed Tityra in his Ornithologie based on a specimen collected in Cayenne in French Guiana. He used the French name Le Pai Gris Gris de Cayenne and the Latin name Lanius cayenensis cinereus, although Brisson coined Latin names. These do not conform to the binomial system and are not recognized by the International Commission on Zoological Nomenclature. When Swedish naturalist Carl Linnaeus updated his Systema Natura for the 12th edition in 1766, he added 240 species that had been previously described by Brisson. One of these was the black-tailed Tityra. Linnaeus included a brief description, coined the binomial name Lanius cayenus and cited Brisson's work. The species is now placed in the genus Tityra, which was introduced by the French ornithologist Louis Jean-Pierre Vieillot in 1816. Two subspecies are recognized. They are sometimes treated as distinct species but widely intergrade where their ranges meet. Tityra cayana, Linnaeus, 1766, northern South America east of the Andes. From Trinidad across the Amazonas basin to Piauí and Mato Grosso, Brazil, and adjacent Bolivia. Red bill base wide, male grayish on back, female with distinct brownish cap and little streaking on breast and back, throat white. Tityra brasiliensis, Swainson, 1838, Piauí. Mato Grosso and adjacent Bolivia southeastwards to Misiones and possibly Corrientes Province, Argentina, red bill base narrow. Male white on back, female lacks distinct cap, streaked strongly on entire head, neck, back and underside. This is a robust, short-tailed bird with a long, hook-tipped bill. Like other Tityras, it has a peculiar vestigial ninth primary feather. The adult black-tailed Tityra is 20 to 22 centimeters, 7.9 to 8.7 in, long and weighs 60 to 70 grams, 2.1 to 2.5 ounces. The male is dull white above and white below. The rectrices, the primary and secondary remiges and a cap extending to below the eyes are black. The tertiary remiges are silvery gray. Females have dark brown rather than black on wings and tail and some brown pattern on head, back and underside. In both sexes, there is a patch of rosy red bare skin around the eye, extending to the bill which is red-based with a black tip. The iris and feet are dark. The juvenile plumage is unknown. This species has a buzzing short call rendered as ed, rek, erd or wink. A double bezo-booza and triple wink, wink, wink are also given. It more frequently calls in flight than when perched. Black-tailed Tityras are most commonly seen in pairs, or, less frequently, single or in small groups. They are intolerant of other birds and will try to chase them away. They are often seen perched conspicuously as they feed on medium-sized fruits. Food is gleaned from vegetation or picked off in mid-hover. While some large insects are caught, these are mainly fed to young birds. Adults are predominantly frugivores and locally important dispersers of such species as the Meliaceae cabralea cangerana. This species rarely attends mixed species feeding flocks even when provisioning young, preferring to forage for insects on its own high up in the trees. Its main breeding season appears to be from November to March across its range, but occasional nesting birds can be encountered almost year-round, at least in some regions. For example, in the lowlands of Colombia and Ecuador, breeding activity has been reported in June and July also, suggesting either lack of a distinct breeding season and/or that 2 broods may be raised per year. The nest is several meters above ground in a tree hole, such as an old woodpecker nest or the crown of a dead palm tree. The brown-marked buff, citation needed, eggs are laid in a bed of dry leaves and some small twigs. 3 eggs are considered likely, but exact clutch size is uncertain. Only the female incubates for almost 3 weeks until the young hatch, but both parents feed the chicks. Fledging is believed to take at least 3 weeks, perhaps as much as 1 month. This species is one of the many hosts of the brood parasitic shiny cowbird, Molothrus bonariensis. It is not uncommon across its large range and occurs in many national parks and other protected areas. Therefore, it is considered a species of least concern by the IUCN.
La titira de cola negra, Tityra cayana, es un ave paseriforme de tamaño mediano de la zona tropical de América del Sur. Los tityras han sido ubicados en las familias de cotinga o papamoscas tirano, Cotingidae y Tyrannidae, por varios autores. Pero el peso de la evidencia sugiere firmemente que ellos y sus parientes más cercanos están mejor separados como Tityridae. La OU, por ejemplo, aboga por esta separación. En 1760, el zoólogo francés Mathurin-Jacques Brisson incluyó una descripción del titira de cola negra en su ornitología basada en un espécimen recolectado en Cayena, en la Guayana francesa. Usó el nombre francés la pie grieche gris de Cayenne y el nombre latino Lanius cayanensis cinereus. Aunque Brisson acuñó nombres latinos, estos no se ajustan al sistema binomial y no son reconocidos por la Comisión Internacional de Nomenclatura Zoológica. Cuando el naturalista sueco Carl Linneo actualizó su Sistema Naturae para la 12ª edición en 1766, agregó 240 especies que habían sido descritas previamente por Brisson. Una de ellas fue la titira de cola negra. Linneo incluyó una breve descripción, acuñó el nombre binomial Lanius cayanus y citó el trabajo de Brisson. La especie ahora se ubica en el género Tityra, que fue introducido por el ornitólogo francés Louis-Jean-Pierre Vieillot en 1816. Se reconocen 2 subespecies. A veces se les trata como especies distintas, pero se integran ampliamente donde se encuentran sus áreas de distribución, t.c. Cayana,